Hey, good morning, y'all. Y'all hear them clanging and banging, y'all? They're getting the new roof on. I'm excited. But before they get too deep, let me come on and talk about real quickly this the death and execution, murder, if you will, of Nipsey Hussle, young rapper, former gang member turned rapper turned philanthropist, activist for his community, was gunned down and killed. And it's been all over the news. Again, I encourage you all to Google this horrific story. And matter of fact, he was dating Laura London, beautiful young lady. But anyway, I was just saddened by that because according to news reports, they have apprehended the suspect, and his name happens to be Eric Holder. I thought, you know, he's a former attorney general. I know he said, man, why does that have to be my name? But anyway, nonetheless. Anyway, he has been apprehended as a suspect to this murder. I think the Nipsey Hussle, he was shot 5 times, one in the head and in the upper torso, chest, I guess. But anyway, like I said, it's been all over the news. It's just tragic. Because again, this is a young man that spoke truth to power. Again, he was a former gang member, still had some type of affiliation with the people in the community. He was one that was had blown up in the hip-hop community, and he began to set up shop, meaning he had a clothing store, storefront within the neighborhood in which he grew up. So he was paying it forward, I guess, by, you know, opening up a business to perhaps employ those people in that community. And here it is, we wake up and we learn and find that he has been killed. And it's just, again, it's so disheartening. And it just made me want to piggyback off of a morning show that I listened to on Sirius XM, the Joe Madison show. And I love listening to that radio show because, again, it speaks truth to power. It's talking about things in the black community, and just not just the black community, but all over. They talk about everything on that show, from your head to your toe, from finances to just a whole gamut. It's just a full show that tackles things and discuss things politically, personally, motivationally. Just a well-balanced show. Of course, with most, you know, radio hosts that are secular, they have colorful language, but, you know, you just have to weed out that and grab the meat of things. But it got me to thinking, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to piggyback off the show that they did yesterday, which was Tuesday, and I thought about it even on this YouTube platform. And the question that was asked, and that's the other thing I love about Joe Madison's show. He calls you into action. It's not just about being a listener and a spectator. When you find out information, when you find out injustice, when you find out things going on in your community and you need to know what you need to do, that's the question we ask ourselves. Oh, yes, we can listen. Oh, yes, we can spectate. But then what are we going to do about it? What are we going to propel within us to move forward with action? So anyway, the question was asked yesterday, you know, what is it about success that we resent within our own community? And that community can be that of black, Asian, you're white, Caucasian, you know, whatever. But I'm speaking to my community, meaning my culture, my nationality. I specifically talking about whether it's black people, whether it's men against men or women against women, black women against white women, or vice versa, whatever the case may be. But just in general, what is it and why do we as a people, and again, everything is not absolute, not talking about everybody, I'm just saying, for those that we see and hear, again, even on this platform, what is it about us as a people, some of us, that we resent success? Now, I think about this young man who was becoming extremely successful in his own right. There were a lot of athletes. There are a lot of people in the music community. There was a lot of people within his own community. They looked at this man as the Barack Obama of the streets, if you will. That he showed, and it was an example of, okay, I was a gangbanger, I was a this, I was a that, but yet I made it out, so to speak, and I'm bringing back to my community. I want to make a difference within the community I grew up in. He just didn't go and didn't come back or didn't do anything, but he tried to leave a good footprint. And I don't think the young man's work was done in vain, because now his blood is crying up from the ground, because of now look at the outpouring. Look at the outpouring. So his blood is crying up from the ground. And so I thought about that question. Why do we resent success? And y'all know me. I think about, when we're doing the Bible study now, and I thought about, look at what Cain did to his brother. Whoever this young man is allegedly that killed and now has been apprehended as a suspect for Nipsey Hussle's murder, killing, slaying. What was going on with him and in him that caused him to respond the wrong way? And as we learn in our study, see what happens when you respond the wrong way. See, sin was crouching down, waiting on him. And what I mean by that is because based on some of the preliminary reports, it wasn't gang related. It was a isolating incident where witnesses have already come forward and say, well, this man had come up there a couple of times, several times, and had personal conversations with Nipsey Hussle. And he later, after, I guess, the last conversation, this young man later came back with a firearm, and that's when he put the smoke on him. So, again, it's very early in the case, but what is being communicated, and regardless of what the outcome is, whether this young man had mental issues, whatever the outcome is, the point of the matter is, we've got another young brother gone who was, again, making a footprint, trying to make a change, and his life was cut very short. And the community and the world that was touched by him, I didn't personally know. When I say personally, I wasn't personally familiar with this young man's career, his struggle, his story. But I have nieces and nephews who are familiar with him. And we all went to the movie last night. And I asked, them, I asked my granddaughter, hey, did you know this young man? So I guess my point is that that's why it's so important to understand and have God in your life. I'm just going to put it, because it causes you, God will cause you, like he warned Cain, if you respond the wrong way, sin is waiting there to crouch on you. It's crouching down to pounce on you. And I don't know what was going on, and maybe we'll find out later what was going on that caused that man to come back and kill this Nipsey. What was going on? Could it have been envious? Could it have been jealousy? Could it have been what? Again, I don't like to get on here and speculate on any particular subject, other than to just be able to speak on what actually has occurred. And we know that this young man's life is gone. Because once you're gone, baby. And so, again, I just wanted to put that question in our head. What is it about us that we resent success? And and again, I'm gonna go on this platform. I can remember when I've seen YouTubers, they started out like I did, small, and they have super surpassed me as far as numbers, views. I'm a type of person, I'm like, wow, if they're doing being successful, oh, I know my day is perhaps coming. And I might not ever blow up as big as some YouTubers, but I'm going to still continue to work to do it. Just because I love to minister, I love to jaw jack. That's what I'm passionate about. I want to have something to say. And this is an awesome platform. And there's nothing wrong if advertisers are willing to pay me, meaning run ads across my video to get paid. You know, I mean, you know, it's just like I'm not going to go to my job and work 60 hours a week and walk away and say, okay, no, I want my paycheck. But I have seen people, and I read comments because I'm a content creator. And I see how people, when you're going up the ladder, they're cheering for you. They're, you know, oh, I love you. And then when you get there to a certain pinnacle and you're, you know, getting more notoriety and more people are gravitating to you as a content creator. And then all of a sudden, them same people or new people come on. Oh, she thinks she all this. She need to remember where she came from. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. I would hate to see a child that just started going to school and they're just learning how to read and write. Okay, they're kind of shaky. They're not conditioned to that. They're not used to that. They're not used to all of that. So as they get their footing, they get better. Just like when I first cut this camera on. I mean, you know, I looked at my first video, I was like, oh my goodness. But as I conditioned myself and put myself more and more in front of the camera, it got a little easier. So I became more relaxed on camera. It became more natural to me because I have conditioned myself to be in front of this camera. I have conditioned myself to communicate and interact with people. I've learned how to pick a fight. You know, there's going to be a lot of fights I'm not going to have a dog in. But then there might be some days I might get on here and say, okay, try me if you want to. But for the most part, I'm who I am. It's in the inner part of me. But as I begin to do things, like I said, I would hate to see. I mean, you know, let's just think about this really realistically. I would hate to see somebody doing something and they never got good at it. And they do it every day. They're being consistent. Wouldn't you think if you were on a job and after 6 months of doing the same job and you still are no better than the first day, you're probably going to get fired. You're probably going to get let go and say, well, you know what? This doesn't seem to be the job for you. You don't seem to be progressing. We want to see you progress. It would be really weird if your child was born and they had the Benjamin Button syndrome. Unless something's wrong with them, you know, health-wise, it would be weird to see an infant at 35 still in an infant form or an infant mentality. It would be really strange to see a 70-year-old man in kindergarten trying to learn their ABCs. And like I said, unless there's a mental disability going on and there's a health issue going on with that person, then of course. But we ain't talking about that. I'm just saying, if you don't ever see a pattern of growth, you don't ever see a person being successful, you don't ever see a person being, you know, catapulted to the next level, it would look strange. So I don't know why it's so strange to people when you see somebody being successful. They're on their grind. They're on their hustle. The viewers are responding. Their community is responding to something positive. And what happens when that person gets there to the top, if you will? Whatever you measure the top to be, whatever you feel like the top is in your mind, when people get to a certain pinnacle, oh my God, people dog you out. They say you're bougie. If you pull yourself up out of the bootstraps and you get out of a bad situation, you're able to buy a better looking house. You're able to go and do some things that you weren't able to do way back in the day. People will shoot you down. They out here outside these windows. Let me hurry up and get dressed. But I'm just saying, in general, we as people, we will shoot people down. We really will. And it's just not good. It's not good for us to do that. So I'm just saying, you know, we as a people need to stop being so critical of one another. Encourage one another. Uplift one another. We don't have to resent success. Just look at it as, okay, this is something that I can do. If I got a passion and I got a hustle mentality and I have something that I want to try it. You and I have the same 24 hours in a day. Don't hate on the next sister because she's blowing up or this man is reaching a pinnacle. That same 24 hours and opportunities available for you. But it's like, I see it more and more. People are climb, and it's like a crab in the bucket mentality. It's just sad. It's so sad to see. And I understand that they're not going to understand. Look, they're going to be people, they will never, when I say never be positive, they just won't. They're wired to never be positive. They're wired to never clap for somebody else. They're just not. And like I said, again, we don't know what's going on, what happened with this Nipsey situation, but what I can say is this. Don't resent success. When you see people doing good in the community, when you see people putting a footprint, and you're just sitting back and you're mad because whether it's not you, you're jealous, you're envious, don't do that. Find your own lane. Allow the skill that God gave you without repentance, and say, Lord, I have this skill. Please open up a door for me so the skill that you gave me to get wealth, or so I can eat, make room for me, as you said. I wanted to make room for me. And then God is faithful to do it. So anyway, let me hurry up and get dressed. They're at these windows. They're on the move. They're handling their business. They're not playing around. So anyway, again, rejoice with one another. Celebrate one another's success. Don't dog people out because they were timid, you know, when they first started YouTube, and now they've got their sure footing. That's just confidence. It has nothing to do with them being not humble. No, they've hit their stride. They're comfortable. And they're not being new and bougie. No, they're just they're into it. They feel much better. Oh, I got this thing. And again, think about it with your children. When your children is playing a sport, or they're going out and pursuing whatever it is they're trying to pursue. Oh yeah, the first day they're right shy. But as they do it, as they get their momentum, oh yeah, you see them, okay, they got this. They got this. I can remember when my son was first doing his gigs. Oh my God, he was so shy you could barely hear him. Now he's hit his stride. He's a little bit more comfortable. He's confident, and when he's playing those different notes and strumming that guitar, he's confident that he's gonna hit the right notes and hit the right pitches. Oh, that's progression. That's being successful in your craft. Don't resent it. Amen. Anyway, let me go. I've said it 3 times, haven't I? Anyway, y'all have an awesome day. It's Wednesday hump day. And what? We got what? No, wait, I ain't got but one more day to get it done. Then we'll be back at the weekend. Me and Mama be on the road. Of course, I will be recording little snippets. And then we'll be back on Monday. Anyway, love y'all. God bless. And may the peace of the Lord be with you. Bye, y'all.